Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha and happy Valentines. Today I'm going to be sharing with you an eye look using the new Primark PS Amber palette. So yesterday I shared with you an eye look from the Berry palette and I was really actually impressed. The palette was very pigmented. It did feel a little bit cheap when I was swatching it, but thankfully I've already swatched the Amber palette for you and it has worked. It's a lot more secure and I don't feel that any of the pans are going to fall out. But really enjoyed that palette yesterday, the Berry palette. It worked so well. The eyeshadows lasted right up until the time that I actually removed them. The only thing that I would say is that there was a little bit of the eyeshadow coming off the lid, but for about 12-hour wear, really not bad at all for such an inexpensive palette. So like I said, it retails for £4 from Primark. I also feel that these are very Urban Decay inspired. So the outside of them, it feels very much like a replica or a dupe of their new palette, and also I feel that this part here on the back, it does feel very, like I say, Urban Decay inspired, especially with all this on this Amber palette anyway. On the inside, and it is a card palette, there's no mirror, you've got the amber wording again, and then you've got these beautiful shades here. Really pigmented. You'll see in a moment with the swatches. Also really love the colour range as well, and with this one you're getting an extra matte, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're getting 2 extra mattes. Now in the Berry palette yesterday, you only got 3 matte shades in the middle of the palette. This one you're getting 4, and then you're getting an extra one there. The rest are shimmers, but obviously I'll go through the shades in a moment. So now moving on to the swatches. So you've got a very light shimmery shade there. You've got a, well, it's like a beigey brown shimmer shade there. You've then got a golden shade, and then you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4 matte shades in the middle of the palette, all very similar colourway. So what I mean by that is that they're going to work very well together. You've then got, it's not quite so intensely shimmery shade there, that's definitely more shimmery, and then you've got another matte there, a neutral brown shade. So, and I must admit that these are very pigmented. They're also quite, the matte shades are quite powdery as well, but they are very intense, as I found out yesterday. So I'm hoping for good things with this palette as well. So I think what I'm going to start off with is this shade here. So this light shade, and I'm using obviously my Primark brush as always. A little bit disappointed to hear that some of you are saying that you can't find this brush any longer in your Primark store. I do know that they still have it in the Norwich store, so I think I must stock up on it. I keep saying I've got to get another one or another few, and obviously I do not want to run out, because I just love it so much, and for £1 you just cannot go wrong. So I'm going in with that light beigey brown shade to start with, just to lay down the first colour. And of course I've applied all of my makeup apart from the eye look. And even though that is the, you know, a very light shade, it's just a little bit of mascara that's fell. I haven't got any fallout. Yeah, even though it's the lighter shade, it is still very pigmented. I also liked how yesterday's palette blended, and also for anyone that wanted to know how well the eyeshadows lasted, they lasted very well. In fact, the eye look looked just as good when I removed it as when I applied it. So for £4, these are amazing. I was also very impressed with the shimmer shade, the lid shade. It lasted and lasted and lasted. There was, by the time that I took my makeup off, there was a little bit of in the crease area on the lid, a little bit of the shimmer shade that had been you know, was missing, but I always find that anyway. It's just the shape of my eyes and the fact that, you know, they are a little bit hooded, but apart from that, the eye looked really, really good. Now with that same light shade, I'm just going to run that underneath the eye as well. Really love that first colour. It's such a good transitional shade, and I must admit with the berry palette yesterday, that was my initial worry, because there was no you know, neutral transitional shade. You went straight into the colour. So it's nice that with this one in particular, there's still some mascara. I've got to get a new one of the mascaras as well. That's reminded me. So yeah, you went straight into the colour. And I thought to myself, wow, you know, is this going to work? It did work. I mean, the eye look worked really, really well. But it's nice with this palette in particular that you can go in with that lovely light shade. So I think now I'm going to go in with a little bit of colour, and I'm going to go in with this coral shade here. I've already applied my lipstick, and of course it is Valentine's today, so I went in with a red shade. So I'm hoping that the eye look that I create is going to match the lip shade. So yeah, let's go in with the coral and see what that does. Again, that coral shade is quite powdery, but again, it's blending very, very nicely as well. That is very pretty. I think they've worked these two palettes, the shades work really, really well. You know, the mattes go together very, very well. So I think that the whole palette on the, you know, on the whole is really, really good. I love it. I think it's going to be another bright eye look. Again, they just seem to blend effortlessly. And for a £4 palette, you know, it's just very, very good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to darken it up slightly and go in with this deeper brown here to see if I can just deepen the crease up a little bit. You hardly have to put your brush into these colours at all. They are so pigmented. Beautiful. And I think the Urban Decay palette is called Heat. Is it Naked Heat? I no longer have that palette actually, because I really didn't enjoy it, and I'm finding that with a lot of my, you know, expensive makeup palettes, that it's actually the inexpensive palettes that I enjoy more. But yeah, this one, that's what this palette is reminding me of actually, the Naked Heat. You've got especially the packaging as well. The packaging really reminds me of the Naked Heat palette too. So, you know, if you've found that, you know, the Urban Decay palette is just too expensive, then this could definitely be an alternative. I mean, it's definitely giving me that kind of eye look. The same eye look that the Naked Heat certainly gave. I'm just going to run that under. Love that. Now I'm going to go in with the gold shade today to go on the lid, and I think that that will match very nicely the lip shade particularly. This is an extremely pigmented eyeshadow. beautiful. Gorgeous. It feels very soft. Gorgeous colour. And I'm just going to go underneath again. Now I'm not sure what to do around the eye because I really like the colour to follow all the way round. So I'm not sure. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in with my PS Pro shading eye brush and just go to the right to the corner with that beautiful gold shade. And then just go around the eye as well, the inner corner. It is so pigmented, that golden shade. It really is, but also it works really well with that red lip. So really pleased with that. So I'll just go through the shades that I've used today. So I started off with this very light matte colour. I then went in with this brighter corally colour just to give some warmth to the eye look, and then I deepened it up with this shade here, and then I used this beautiful shade for the lid. Absolutely stunning. But yeah, I mean, I suppose if I still had my heat palette I could have done a you know, a side by side, but I no longer have it, just because if you're a regular viewer you know that I have done a huge declutter of my makeup collection because I felt so overwhelmed with the amount of makeup that I actually had, and I feel a lot more at ease with the collection now, especially as I try and purchase a lot of the makeup to share with you, you know, what's coming out and things like that. So yeah, I feel certainly less overwhelmed, especially about what makeup that I'm going to choose every day. So that was the Primark PS Amber eyeshadow palette. £4, just £4, and the pigmentation from that palette is amazing, just as good as the berry shade. I think the look is very, very Urban Decay, the Naked Heat inspired. I think that's where they were going with the actual packaging and the look of that palette as well. But I think for £4, that really is a beautiful look. I'm absolutely loving it, and of course I will take a closer picture and pop it onto my Instagram for you as well, so you can see a close-up of that and also a picture of the actual palette as well. So I hope that you found that as enjoyable as the berry palette. I think these are definitely a must-have. They are such good quality. Really, really perfect. I love the eye look for both of them. Just amazing quality for that £4. I can't get over it. And the eye look lasted and lasted and lasted yesterday until I removed it. So like I say, I hope that you found that helpful if you're thinking about purchasing that palette. Of course, I would love to hear your thoughts about the Amber palette. And of course, if you have just stumbled across my channel, I would absolutely love it if you've subscribed to watch further videos. I always upload, well, I upload every single day apart from Sunday. So thank you so much for watching. Until tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.